All right, guys, we have got our preview here for the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. And we're going to jump right on into it. We're going to start with the coaching staff. Yeah, Sean McDermott comes back. Now, Sean is an interesting coach. Not a coach I love. I put him in, good company. I have him, ninth, and a lot of it is his, fourth down stuff. Their decisions to go for it. It's second behind Campbell, and it extends their drives and does all that fun stuff. So all the technical decisions are really good. I don't particularly, in terms of him as a coach, don't love. And then the defenses in the playoffs kind of get eaten, and other good coaches tend to have really good days against them in the playoffs. So he's an interesting coach. I like the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. He came in, run the ball a lot more. They've been running good plays. It's been a really good system. So Joe Brady has been a nice upgrade since he's come in. Bobby Babich is the DC, but it's mostly McDermott doing a lot of the stuff there. So the coaching staff is interesting, like the offensive side. Defensive side, not so much. But the regular, again, down-to-down stuff is really good. The decision-making is really good in Buffalo. As for the roster, quarterback, Josh Allen, backup, Mitch Trubisky. Trubisky's fine, regular backup. If Josh Allen were to get hurt, season's over anyway. So it doesn't really matter who's the second. If Josh Allen is gonna miss significant time, it doesn't matter. If Mitch is capable of coming in and playing 2 or 3 games and finding a win in there for sure, especially against this schedule. So it's fine backup. Josh Allen is very, very, very good. Insanely versatile. His decision-making still comes and goes sometimes. He has these games where, he's just awful, and every decision he makes is a negative one. He still has those throws where you're kind of, what are you thinking? But everything else is just so, so good. The arm strength is incredible. Everything, again, he's an insane runner, very, very good runner, very difficult to bring down, good decision maker for the most part. Again, his decision making comes and goes. It's been much, much better as his career's gone along. It started not so well, and again, it comes and goes as we go further along, though they don't come as often in a negative way. So everything is just incredible. EPA per dropback last year was really, really good. Again, everything continues to be really good. There's not much I can say about Josh Allen that you guys don't know about. He is a very, very good quarterback. So we don't have to spend too much time on quarterback. Normally we have to spend time on quarterback. I don't have to spend too much time on quarterback today. He is a top 1, 2, 3, wherever you want to put him, he's in there. I think the top 3 are pretty close, so you can put him anywhere in there, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But you can put him at 1, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but he's very, very, very good. Wide receiver room, interesting group. I don't love it, and mainly because there's no real X here, and Keon Coleman got a little bit better as the year went on last year, and there's room for him to make a genuine jump. Shakir's good, but out of the slot. We talked about this with the Chargers. And we'll probably talk about it again further down the line with someone else. But when you don't have a ton on the outside and your best receiver is in the slot, it just doesn't mean as much, doesn't stretch the field as much. So Keon Coleman getting to a point where he's good on the outside is pretty big for the offense if he gets there. They bring in Josh Palmer, who's another similar to Shakir, not exactly, but a lot of these guys I'm going to name, Elijah Moore, Josh Palmer, Shakir, Curtis Samuel, all these, they're all very, very similar football players, and you're going to have to play one of them on the outside, and I think Josh Palmer can do that. I think Shakir can do it a little bit, and it'll probably just be a rotation next to Coleman, but Josh Palmer is an upgrade on Amari Cooper, at least, and the rest of the room, as we said, similar stuff. Curtis Samuel, he's always hurt. Elijah Moore is always someone I thought had a bit of potential, but just hasn't come to fruition just yet. Laviska Shenault, maybe behind Keon Coleman guy. It's deep-ish, but the floor is not very high here. So as I said, it's deep-ish, but there's not a ton of talent in terms of players behind the front three. You could be deep and not be very good. You can just have a bunch of fives or a bunch of fours, which is fine and deep enough, but it's not going to really elevate if any of them come in and play well type thing. So it's an interesting room, probably a bottom 10, 12 room altogether, but slightly better than last year. If Josh Palmer is just better than Amari Cooper. So there's not going to say anything super negative there, but at some stage you hope they go out and get like a real alpha X. It's always difficult, obviously, when you're drafting at 27 or 28. That's tends to be the problem in this area. Chiefs, Bills, like, you're good every year, and it's like, man, we really need a good wide receiver. We just got to hope we hit late in the draft. As simple as that, because you're never really drafting at 10. You're never really drafting at 7, where all these other really good players are going, the Chases, the Marvin Harrisons, the Malik Neighbors. You're just not drafting there, and you're hoping that someone you draft in that 30 range ends up being that guy. It doesn't happen a ton. So anytime you can upgrade anywhere, like the Bills did here a little bit with Josh Palmer, you got to take it and run with it. But yeah, an interesting room. Running back. We did running back after wide receiver today. Running back, James Cook, really solid, really good running back. I have him at 12th. He's a good player. He's probably not going to flood with touchdowns like he did last year. I would assume a lot of his touchdowns came from a little bit deeper, and they don't really run him a ton on the goal line as you'd expect, and you get some other rotational pieces in there, and he was really good last year. And again, I expect the touchdown number to drop a bit, but his efficiency numbers I don't expect to drop. The offensive line is really good. You have the threat of Josh Allen running. You have the threat of Josh Allen throwing. It's very similar to, he's not Derrick Henry, but being a running back in a scheme where the quarterback can kill you with his legs. It's always really nice to be a running back in that system. You get more holes and things like that, and especially behind a good offensive line. So James Cook, really, really good player. Good running back. Ray Davis behind him. Ty Johnson behind him. These are pretty good 2s and 3s. They've been good 2s and 3s here in Buffalo for a while. If James Cook were to go down, I don't think, not saying like there's no gap there, but the way the games, or the way the offensive line is, the way the system is run, you're probably not missing a ton. It's very running back friendly, I believe. So yeah, James Cook, solid, and a solid running back room altogether. Tight end, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox is like, you got that big contract, and then he plays his snaps, and he's pretty efficient and stuff. He's just overpaid, and that's fine, but he's solid enough. Dalton Kincaid kind of got bought in, hoping he can be that do-it-all tight end, like an Evan Ingram type or anything like that. Hasn't really hit where it's been expected since he got drafted, but also tight ends don't really hit the ground solidly until like year 3, year 4, year 5, and then they really take off. That's why you see so many tight ends go to their second contract at a different destination. You're like, man, where was this? And normally they kind of just hit the ground running in that area. So Dalton Kincaid's ceiling is still up there, and his floor is pretty good too. Again, this is a top 10 tight end room for me still, and we're talking about Dalton Kincaid like he's bad, but genuinely he's a good tight end. Whether he ends up being a top 5 tight end ever, there's still the possibility, is what I'm saying for Dalton. So a good room, solid room, and the pass catchers here are pretty good. Nothing spectacular, but pretty good. Running back is good. Josh Allen's really good. Offensive line, top end, we have him 6th, I think. Really good. Deion Dawkins, really good. He's been really good for like 3 or 4 years. He goes a bit under the radar over here at left tackle because I don't know, but he does. He was 8th in pass block win rate last year for all tackles altogether, which is really good. David Edwards, solid. Connor McGovern was solid last year, 14th in run block win rate last year. It was Connor McGovern on the interior offensive line, so that's 3 positions, and he was 14th there across those 3 across the NFL. I mean, we're talking, 96 players and 96 starters. He was 14th. That's very good. Osiris Torrance is coming along. Spencer Brown is solid. He's on the pup, but he was doing some workouts today and stuff like that. I don't expect that to be too big of an issue, but he's also very good. The offensive line in general was really good last year. Pass block win rate 4th in the league. Run block win rate was 17th. You're hoping that takes a bit of a step forward, but also with the way the runners are, may not need to take a step forward for the offense to continue to be really, really good. So it's a really good offensive line. As I said, I have it 6th or 7th in that area. Really talented at left tackle. Right tackle is really good. Center's really good. The guards are solid. It's a really good offensive line. And when you have a really good quarterback and a quarterback who can escape pressure more than the average, it really helps the offensive line too. So the offensive line is really good. And when they do get beat, Josh Allen kind of escapes. So it makes it really difficult to get negative plays on the offense, which is obviously huge. You want to stay on schedule. The more you're on schedule, the more likely you are to score points and convert first down. So it's a really, really good offense. It's, I want to say I think it's second for me, first or second for me in the league. It's very, very good. As for the defense, let's jump into it. This is probably the place where I have most problems is on the defense. Defensive line is good. It's a similar starting 4. The only difference, I guess, is Von Miller's out and Joey Bosa's in. When they're healthy, when it's fully healthy, Joey Bosa's had his injury problems. Von Miller's had his injury problems. I will say Joey Bosa, I think, has more left in the tank. Like, I think if Joey Bosa's healthy, you're getting a genuine edge rusher out there instead of Von Miller, who's probably going to give you, like, you're looking for, like, when you have a player like Von Miller at this point, you're looking for 5 or 6 good snaps a game, just to kind of get back there and cause problems because the explosiveness is still kind of there, but it doesn't happen all the time. Joey Bosa is more consistent and still solid, just down to down. So I think that is an upgrade. Again, health is Joey Bosa's problem right now, and we'll see if he can get back to it, but he's still very solid. Greg Rousseau, Daquan Jones, Joey Bosa, Ed Oliver being a 4 is genuinely really good. Pass rush win rate last year, or pass block win rate. What am I doing? Pass rush win rate, 6th last year. Run stop win rate 5th. So top 5 or 6 in both categories there. I just have these written down as PRWR and RSWR, and for PBWR, I keep fucking it up when I read it, but regardless, 6th in pass rush, 5th in run stop. Win rates very, very good. And they add Ogunjobi to it, Hoyt to it, as we said, Bosa to it. So they're only getting deeper, and they're all very, very good as it is. Ed Oliver was tremendous last year. Greg Rousseau was probably underrated. Just like the line, probably because Josh Allen just gets most of the credit here. Everything else is slightly underrated for the most part. Like we talk about Deion Dawkins, like Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau don't get a ton of just national plaudits, but they're very, very, very good, and it is a very, very good defensive line. Linebacker, not a great group. Milano needs to be healthy and needs to get back to it. Like last year, and the last couple of years, he hasn't been super healthy, but he also hasn't played particularly well the last 12 months or so. He needs to be healthy, and he needs to be good for this unit to be like above average. Like the rest of the unit is not very good. Bernard's okay. Bernard's a good run defender. Williams is a good run defender. The group as a whole was a 28.9 PFF coverage grade, which is truly horrific as a group. And all 6 of them come back. So it's just, it's a matter of Milano, I think. Otherwise, this is going to be a really bad room. Like if Milano's hurt again, or Milano doesn't get back to what he's been, we're looking at a really, really bad group. Don't love anything here. Again, the coverage is really, really, really bad for the most part. So not in love with this group here. Hopefully Milano's good to go. Secondary is okay. The safety room is solid. Taylor Rapp is pretty good. It's nothing spectacular, nothing bad. It's just a solid-ish room. Corner is interesting. Teron Johnson's okay. He was hurt quite a bit last year. Hoping that he can stay healthy and take a bit of a step here. They draft Max Hairston there in the first round. So they're hoping he comes in and plays well. Corner is getting to be a position with rookies that come in and they're like good to go. Like it used to be a room where you're drafting corner and you're like, hey, he's not really going to be a good starter for us for like 2 years, 3 years maybe. But corners are coming into the NFL a little bit more ready, or either that or defensive coordinators are asking them to do a little bit less. Regardless, they're coming in and playing much better. So we're hoping Hairston comes in and plays better here. Benford's interesting. I hear a lot of like Bills fans putting him in like, wow, Benford's not in the top 10 conversation, not in the top 5 convo. Benford's good, but is probably not like, wow, why isn't he in this top 10 convo good? Like he's probably around 14 or 15 in terms of solid, but he's good. Obviously, that's still very good. I just don't think he's top 10 good. And again, it's an okay group. We'll see. We need the rookie to kind of hit the ground running for it to be like an average group. Elam leaving is like a positive. Just by getting him off the roster, he was that bad since he's been drafted. So getting him out of there was good. But again, it's an okay group. Nothing super spectacular. Again, Benford's really good, but like not like in that top 5 area, as we said. So it's an okay group. We'll see with the rookie. The rookie's probably going to determine the group. If he comes in and he hits the ground and he's solid, it should be a solid room. But yeah, that's the roster. Again, really, really good offense, above average defense still. I really like the defensive line. And if the secondary can be okay, then it should be a like top 12, 13 defense, which I think is where it will be. And comparing that with the number 2 offense is pretty good. As for the schedule, this is where things are really nice. They're a favorite in every game, every single one. You get all your tough teams at home, your away games you're going to be favored in. It's a really good schedule. You get Baltimore at home on Monday or Sunday night, which is a great way to kick the season off on Sunday Night Football. 1.5 point favorites there. That'll be a tough one. Then you go at the Jets, Miami at home, New Orleans at home, New England at home, and then at Atlanta before the bye. There's a world here where you're 6-0. There's a world here where you're 17-0 because of this schedule. But it's a really, again, Baltimore is tough, and then you get a division opponent on the road, and then you get 3 games at home against Miami, New Orleans, and New England. Miami, a team they just match up so well against. They're better than Miami, and they match up super well against Miami. New Orleans is probably going to be really bad. New England, and then at Atlanta. Then you get the bye week, and you come out and you play at Carolina, home to Kansas City, which you're going to be favored in, and you're probably the better team here. And Kansas City might be going through some things. We'll see. Rashee Rice, we're still waiting on that suspension. It probably comes soon. Then you have the left tackle thing over there. We'll see if Simmons has looked good in camp, but obviously that's just camp, and we'll see what that looks like. There's a world where the left tackle doesn't work and they have no Rashee Rice, and you'll be comfy faves here. At Miami, home to Tampa Bay, another tough one, but home at Houston is probably the most difficult road game of the set. At Pitt, home to Cincy, another good team, but at home. At New England, at Cleveland, home to Philadelphia late. Again, a really good team, but home, and the Jets. So, again, you're going to be favored in every game. You're going to be favored by chunks in most games. All your tough games are at home in Buffalo. This schedule sets up super well, and that leads us to our bet. The Bills finishing seed in the AFC under 2.5 at plus 115. That is a $2.75 bet. That just means to be the 1 or the 2 seed here. If Josh Allen's healthy, I have a hard time believing this team is in a top 2 seed. They would have to lose 6 games here, 7. Perhaps 11-6 probably gets you in that top 2-ish range. I'm not sure what type of season Kansas City's going to have. The AFC South probably beats up on each other a little bit. I'm not sure anybody in there is super good. You get Baltimore, it's probably going to be really good, and you can only get 1 team per division. So, there's a world here where 11-6 gets it. 12-5 is gonna get it most likely. There's a world, again, if this team went undefeated with this schedule, I would not be super stunned. So interesting football team, very similar to last year, but the things break a little bit more this year, and you've upgraded in a spot here or there. So there we go, the Buffalo Bills.